Hello, everyone, and welcome to Real Estate Right Now. We talk about real estate matters that matter to you. My name is Jay Izzo, and we are live here from Linda Team Studios here in Raleigh, North Carolina, part of the Greater Research Triangle Park. Today's show, you know, we all have to move at one time or another, and generally we hire a mover to help us move. But how do we make the smooth move, right? Well, so I brought in president, owner, founder. I know it's Antonio, but you go by Tony Davis,
yep.
right?
Tony
right?
Davis.
And it's Miscellaneous
Plus
Incorporated.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Miscellaneous Plus Incorporated. And we personally use you for everything. And love the work that you and your guys do. You guys take such good care of everything that we do. So we're really grateful. So thank you for being on the show today.
Hey, it's a pleasure of mine to be here.
Well, I appreciate it.
I just, it's great for the community to have something like this to, be invited and talk about moving and helping people get prepared to move because moving is like the second important thing to do when you sell your home.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Or right. Or if you're moving from an apartment to a home.
Yeah.
Right?
If you're moving from an apartment to a home, I mean, you got to get prepared and prep yourself and get mentally ready for that.
Yeah. So here's where I want to go today. So we kind of talked before the show. So what I want to do is we're going to go through the moving process is what I'd like to do.
Okay.
And so I want to start with, we're going to be making a move. Okay.
Okay.
And so typically we know we're supposed to box things up. We're supposed to box things up. Yeah. How often do you run into on the day that you show up to the house where people haven't boxed things up?
Do you really want to know that?
I don't. Is it a pretty high percentage where?
I would say 70.
Really, 70% of people aren't prepared to get boxed up.
I can't tell you how many times we show up at somebody's house. Stuff is all over the place.
Yeah,
and be prior to speaking with them before we get there, they'll be like, "Oh, we'll be ready." When you show up at this house, we'll have all the boxes ready, the furniture be cleared off, and you'll be good to go. But man, that moving day, guess what happens?
There's stuff not packed.
There's stuff laying
all over the place.
There's stuff everywhere.
Okay, so let's talk about that preparation part. Do you think it's because people think they have more time than they really do? Do you think that's part of it?
I think that is the number one cause because time catches up with you.
Yeah, it does. Right.
By the time you do your closing and your phone calls and canceling your utilities and doing this and doing that, you look at your clock and it's moving day.
So let's talk about in that moving preparation and boxing things up, because ultimately the time is on you to make sure that you do well with your time. He can't fix that for you. So he can't fix your time. Okay. That's on you. Is there, when it comes to preparing, is there a size box that you as a mover prefer people to have? Because I'm sure there's like, I get it. Some boxes are going to be small for things, but is there like a size box that you go, okay, this is a little bit big?
Well, it totally depends on the particular item.
Okay.
Let's say if you packing your books, you're going to want to use smaller boxes. Okay. Because no mover want to pick up a wardrobe full of books.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been in my house and in my upstairs in my room.
Yeah.
I've got that bookshelf full of books. You do not want me packing that in a Charmin tissue.
I do not. But it totally depends on the item. Let's say if you were packing your clothes, and if you want to hang them in wardrobe boxes or maybe fold them into a medium to a large box. Mm. I mean, clothes are usually lighter.
Right.
So it's not going to be as heavy as books. So that wouldn't be a problem to put them in a wardrobe box.
Okay. Which is big. Which
is a huge box.
Which is a huge box.
Yeah, it's a huge box.
Because you can hang them up in that box.
But it's going to be lighter because of the weight of the clothes.
So we need to be thinking about weight
Wait, because if a mover come in and the team is moving your whole entire home, you don't want to kill them before they.
Yeah, right, because not only do they have to move it into the truck, they got to move it out of the truck to where you're going,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, you know where I'm going. So you want to make it easy on the mover, and you want to make it easy on yourself in case you got to maneuver these boxes once the mover set them in your room.
Right.
So you don't want to be breaking your back unloading boxes when the mover leave.
Right.
So you want to plan this thing out so that, it's good for you and the mover.
Right. So let's talk about the planning part. Okay. Because, I know that we're boxing up our different rooms, right?
Okay.
We box up the different rooms. And if you're in a 2-story, you got your bedrooms, you've got bedrooms and things upstairs, or like in my case, I have my office up there too.
Okay.
Right. And then downstairs, we have the kitchen. Maybe you have a first floor master bedroom, and you could have an extra room downstairs. How do you want that organized so that it is most effective for you because you're probably thinking about not only what you're taking out of the home, but what's the order I'm going to be putting things into the new home.
Correct.
So how do you like that organized?
Well, it's kind of one of these things. One of the things, we had to load the moving truck a certain way to transport the items.
Mm-hmm.
So what we usually do when we show up at your house, we'll walk through your whole home before we start loading the truck.
Okay.
Because the truck got to be loaded in a way so that when we get to your home, nothing is tore up.
Right.
But to answer your question, if you do your own packing, we prefer for you to stage your boxes in one area of the house.
Oh.
Like in each room.
Okay.
Let's say if I walked into your house to move this studio, I would ask you before I get there, I said, Jay, could you possibly put your boxes over in the corner of the room so that when we walk in the room, we don't have to walk around the room looking for boxes. And the rest of it, we figure out ourselves. If you got your plant there, we'll say, hey, Jay got a plant in the corner. Jay got his table in the middle of the floor. So from our experience, we already know, what to look for in that particular room.
Right. But the boxes, put it in one
corner so that we don't have to walk around the room to search for boxes.
Right.
That way we know when we walk in every room, hey, the box is in the corner. Mm-hmm. His table is in the middle of the room. His tree is in the corner. So we could put our plan together how to load the truck based upon each room.
So is there a particular way that you do it? Like, do you go, okay, we'll do the kitchen first, or do we do the upstairs first? How do you guys, is there a particular plan that you put in mind?
Usually, once again, it depends on the house, because believe it or not, some people will have a washer in the bedroom.
We did. Yeah. We had a washer and dryer in the master closet of our room, right?
Yeah, so it depends on the layout of the house, but usually what we do, we try to put a base piece of furniture in the truck first, like a dresser. If you put a dresser on the front nose of the truck, you can come back behind the dresser and stack boxes.
Oh.
And then after you do that tier, you can come back in the house and say, hey, I put a dresser in, so I'm going to look for a nightstand or maybe like another piece of base so I can start me another layer of tier.
Ah.
And then behind that, you may come back in the living room area and say, hey, I need a couch to stand up in front of this so I can strap it off and block off the load before I start another tier.
Uh-huh.
So it totally depends on the inventory of the home.
Of the home.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And of course, it depends on how big the home is too. I'm sure that there's a lot going on there because maybe we use multiple trucks.
Correct. It could be a possibility that you need maybe a couple trucks, or you may even need a half a truck, and the truck got to be laid out you don't have to stack it as high as you usually do.
Right.
So it just depends on each individual inventory in that particular home.
But I'm going to switch just a second, come back. Do you, as Miscellaneous, do you guys do just local, or how far do you go to move, or do you guys go to move?
We actually do the whole country.
Really?
Yeah, because what happened with us is we have partners throughout the country.
Okay.
So if we can't do a job in Mississippi or Alabama, we have a partner in that particular state that we can call up and say, hey, we sending a load to you.
Okay.
Can you meet our driver to help him get squared away?
Okay. So they would have a crew down there.
They would have a crew that
So it's your driver. He's going to probably manage that whole thing. And then they bring a crew in.
Yep.
And then that crew will handle the move.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter. You could do this all over the country.
I could do this all over the country.
Yeah, you could do this in California. So if they were moving from Raleigh to California, you could do that.
Yep, we could do it anywhere.
That's okay. So is there a difference in preparing a local move versus an out-of-state move when it comes to packing?
Well, somewhat, but I try to stay consistent, because if you stay consistent, you'll make sure you do every job the same.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you start doing a local move, less quality wise than you would do a long distance move, it'll mentally get you off to the point where you back and forth.
So it's the same regardless.
So for me personally, I like to stay consistent to make sure everything we do is at the highest quality possible, so that at the back end of it, the customer is happy.
Okay.
Because my personal goal is to make sure you as a consumer is always happy.
Right.
So if I stay consistent, that won't be a problem.
Well, I can assure everybody who's watching the show or going to listen to the show that every time we have used you, you have been consistent, and it has been a great experience. It has been an absolute great experience to work with you. And it always has. I mean, there's never been one single issue. And we've used you. I don't know how long we've been using you, but we've been using you for a long time. And we've been using you, and it's been a great experience. I want to go back now to the packing part, because there was a question that came up. Somebody said, is there a strength of box that we should use? Because sometimes people, you can buy these boxes, right, that seem to have a little bit more strength to them than others. And then some people will just, go to the local store,
the ABC store,
or try to pick up. What do you recommend there that people do when it comes to the type of box that they use?
I definitely recommend the more weight you put in a box to make sure the quality of the box is thicker.
Mm-hmm.
So thicker is the thing if you got weight.
Okay.
If you put in lightweight stuff in a box, I mean, you could get away with a
lighter weight box.
Okay. And you could go maybe to like a Walmart or U-Haul or something and buy a box, but they're not going to be the quality of the box that the movers get from their vendors.
Okay.
Because the mover boxes are commercial grade.
Oh.
And they're a little thicker.
So there's a commercial grade box.
There's a commercial grade box, and there's a Walmart box. And as you know, there's probably a difference.
There's a difference in not only the thickness, but how many little holes and circles and how close they are inside that make that happen. I asked that question because, if people have like fine china or, heirlooms, like plates and dishware and things like that they use, you want to spend more there to protect that.
Correct. You want to spend more because those particular items, of course, mean more to you.
Right.
So you want to go out of your way, if you can afford it, to spend more money on the wrapping in the box itself to assure that there is no issues.
Right.
And most of the time it works.
Yeah.
I mean, if you take your time and wrap things and prepare things like they should, when you get to your destination, when you unwrap it, you're going to be like, this actually survived.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. Well, I mean, I think, sometimes, people think, well, I'm just making a local move. I don't have to wrap things as well. But really, we still want to take the same quality and care. And I think this comes back to the time thing, is that I don't think we realize how long it really takes to pack something well so that it's not going to break in the box.
That's correct.
Because it's not that you're not being careful, but it's in a vehicle.
It's in a vehicle. Somebody could pull it out in front of the moving truck on the interstate.
Right.
And you got to slam on brakes, and that box might shift. And that could be within a 10 miles move.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Well, what is the statistic? Most accidents happen within, is it half mile of
Well,
the,
it's a small, I don't know the exact distance, but it's a small
yeah, it's like a half mile of the home.
amount. Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think people understanding that it takes more time than you think to pack your house
Correctly.
correctly,
Correct.
which is probably why it eats into the time that they think, because
Correct.
they think they're just going to throw stuff in a box.
Yep.
And you could do that. You could do that with your kids' toys, and you could do that. Yes, clothes. My blue jeans could be thrown in a box,
but not with your fine china.
But not with your fine china or heirlooms or that precious lamp that was handed down from your great grandmother.
And you're right. You'll find once you start packing that stuff, you'll find that your brain just tell you, I got to wrap this stuff.
Right.
I got to wrap it properly.
Yeah. Because it could be a problem for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So if we do it right and we've packed everything correctly, we've got things put in the corner so that you're not dodging boxes and stuff like that. And you're planning out, your layering system and making sure that things are out right. We get the truck or trucks packed, and now we're about ready to move. What should you're moving it? So do you want the homeowner to get to the new house before you get there? Do you want about the same time? How do you want them to handle that part of the move?
My preference is to have the homeowners arrive maybe 10 to 20 minutes before the movers get there, so that they can have a system in place to direct us when we get there. Because I can't tell you how many times we show up at a home and we got to figure out where to put the furniture at. And you know how that goes. I
do know how that goes. It's not good.
I'm not a designer. I'm a mover.
Well, I mean, right. This is the other part of it, right? Is that, again, it's how prepared are you not only to get out of your house, but how prepared are you
to get in the new house
where everything is going to go? Because you don't want to come up with a plan on the spot. You really want to, if you want this to be smooth, you really want this thing really well planned of where it goes. And now I think it opens up the question of labeling.
Label your boxes. Even something as simple as labeling your new house doors. You can get like a little Post-it note and stick on each area of your new home, like your door, your hallway. And that way it'll keep you calm. You won't have to run around to every mover. Because sometimes we have 6 or 7 movers on the team.
Right.
And you don't want 7 guys asking you,
where does this go?
7 different questions.
Where does this go?
Something simple as just a simple labeling system as Post-it notes on your doors. Master bedroom, guest bedroom, bonus room. And then label your boxes accordingly. Right. That way, when the mover walk in the house, he can just set your boxes in each room.
So now I'm hearing a system. I'm hearing a system that if you know that guest room 1 is going to be the kids' room or something like that, guest room 2 may be an office, label your boxes according to where it's going to go.
Correct.
Not where it came from.
Correct. That'll make life much easier.
And then label the door going, this is room 1, this is office 1, this is room 2, right? This is master.
Just make sure you get a consistent labeling system. Like your box is saying the same thing that your door notes is going to say.
But for the new house, don't label it from where it came, because that's not necessarily going to make as much sense.
They're going to be a total confused moving crew.
Right. Do that. I mean, we get it. Kitchen's the kitchen. We don't have, that one's easy. Okay. You all with me? The kitchen is easy.
Yeah.
That one's easy. We get it. Master bedroom, probably pretty easy.
Yep. Laundry room is easy. You can't go wrong with that.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with that one either.
Patio easy.
But it's those other bedrooms.
It's the bedrooms. And sometimes some houses, people actually set up like beds in the bonus rooms.
Right.
They'll stage the bonus room like a bedroom.
Right.
So just a consistent labeling system will make everything much easier.
Yeah, just smooth the move.
Yeah.
Right, because we're smoothing the move.
Yeah, because at that point, you want as less stress as possible. Because between closing on a house and moving out of the last house and canceling out on utilities, I mean, that stuff is stressful.
Right.
It's brutal.
Right. And well, if you've ever done it, nothing ever goes really according to plan.
Yes.
There's always something that gets in the way and interferes.
Yeah.
And then, getting into the new house, there can be all sorts of complications sometimes.
It can be. You could get there and flip on the light switch and the light don't even come on.
Right. Because you didn't transfer the utilities, right? And because you were supposed to transfer the utilities over to the new house.
So you want as less stressful on your moving in day. You want to be less stressful as possible on moving in day as possible.
Right.
Because
So plan. We can't emphasize that enough to you. Plan the move, right?
Yep.
Because I think that's where things fall apart, is that it's just not well planned. They're just packing up.
Yeah.
And let's be honest here. You're excited, and you're so excited about your next home. You're not thinking about the plan so much, because there's all these other complications, but you're really excited about getting into this new home.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm not trying to say anything here, but my wife is very organized and detailed.
She is
extremely. That's not saying anything.
That's a good thing.
It is a good thing.
Yeah.
But she wants her house to be able to be ready as fast as possible.
Yeah, I'm a witness to that.
And so she wants to be able to go, okay, I want things put in a place so that I can start unpacking as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes what happens is we can start unpacking too soon.
Right.
Because you're still moving stuff in when she's trying to unpack the kitchen.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's not a bad thing, because if she have any questions during the unpacking, she could ask us, because we already there. She don't have to pick up the phone and say, hey, Tony, I got a question for you.
Right.
What box did you put my
whatever in? Right. What box did you put this in? Right. Where'd that box go? So yeah, I think sorry about the technical difficulties, folks. We had a little technical glitch, but we're with Tony Davis, president owner, Miscellaneous. Why am I dropping the second word? I know it's incorporated.
Miscellaneous Plus
Incorporated. Why do I forget the plus? I don't know.
It's such a long name.
Plus is such a big
and
word.
By the time you get the plus, you've actually forgotten
it. I think so. I think that's my problem. It's 4 letters, and somehow I blank on it. I just think so. I think the thing is, when we last left you there, we were talking about getting things unpacked in the new house. Do you guys put the beds back together? Like, and let me ask you this: do you want people to take the beds apart, or would you rather that you do that, or how do you prefer that part to go, like in bedrooms?
It depends. I don't know if you ever bought any furniture, let's say from IKEA.
I have.
The mover don't want to fool with.
That doesn't want to fool with the IKEA.
They don't want to fool with.
Yeah. Can I tell you something? I got to be honest with you. I don't have any IKEA furniture in my house currently.
You don't?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't. But I have had IKEA furniture.
Yeah. And the headache.
Well, the headache is that once you take it apart,
it's hard to get it back together.
And it never goes back together in the same way. It's like folding an old map again. Correct. Right? When you unfold the map and you try to fold it again, it never folds the same way. Especially
when you can't find the directions or something.
Right.
Like that.
Right.
But to answer your question, I mean, we prefer to take apart a bed so that when we set it back up at the new house, we're familiar with setting it back up and everything. Because if you take apart a bed that we're not familiar with, when we get ready to put it back together, we may not be familiar with how to put the bed back together.
Right.
So we prefer to do that part.
So you prefer to so that you're acquainted with how it came apart, so you can remember how it went back together.
Correct.
Is there items that you would prefer not to transport that the people should transport themselves?
Absolutely. Any kind of gas products, we prefer not to transport those.
Okay.
Because let's say if your gas can spilled in back of the truck
Mm,
and you got your $10,000 mattress back there,
right.
that smell of that gas is going to get into
It's done.
Yeah. Your couch is done. Your mattress is done. Anything that got fabric to it going to have gas.
It's over.
So we don't want to move nothing with gas in it.
Okay.
No kind of liquid products.
Okay.
Like cleaning products. Even with that, some of that stuff may spill and get onto like a couch or something
Right.
like that. So we prefer not to transport liquid. And if we had to transport liquids such as cleaning products and stuff like that, we prefer it to be in a plastic container.
Okay.
Because stuff can't seep through a plastic container like a box.
Right.
So it's kind of a yes and no question, but definitely no to gas.
Yeah.
Because gas,
Yeah.
You're screwed once you spill gas.
Once you spill the gas.
Yeah. Now cleaning products, you can kind of get away with that a little bit.
Right.
Especially if you put it into a plastic.
But put it in a plastic container, sealed plastic container that you can seal it.
Yeah.
What about moving some odd items? Like you got the riding mower that you're bringing with you, the wheelbarrow, my shop tools, rakes and things like that I've got in the garage. When you move that, how do you consider that? How do you make that part of the move? I'm sure that's a different thing, especially if you got to move a riding mower to a new location. How do you guys work with that?
For us, what we do, we have several different types of vehicles in our fleet.
Mm-hmm.
So if we was to move a riding lawnmower, we would bring an open bed trailer.
Okay.
And we would use a pickup truck to tow that open bed trailer. Now, some companies, if you're moving across country, of course, they're not going to do that.
Right. You're going to want it covered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're moving across country, if you're moving a riding lawnmower, what we usually do, we top it off. And we make sure we tell the customer to empty all the gas out of it.
Okay.
So we'll top it off, and we'll do the same thing with like weed eaters and shovels and picks and all that stuff. We'll just top it and secure it in the truck the best we can.
Yeah, because you do not want that to be part of the move of the interior of the house.
You do not. You don't want to combine outdoor furniture with your beds and your couches and that kind of thing. And one reason, and people don't think about this a lot, when you keep things outside, bugs, spiders, snakes, everything gets in that stuff.
Right.
So the last thing you want is you get to the other end and you sitting on your couch and you're enjoying.
I know where you're going here, and I'm already thinking, no, I don't want bugs and spiders and snakes coming out of my couch.
Yeah, because I'm one of these movers that have witnessed a snake in the back of my truck before.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I had unloaded a truck and a snake was back there.
Really? That came out of some piece of furniture?
Well, it came out of something that was in a garage.
That was loaded?
That was loaded. And he decided he didn't want to ride with me.
He didn't want to ride anymore. And so he was trying to find a way out.
Yeah.
Could have been in a box that you didn't even know.
Yeah. So a lot of things people don't think about when you're moving. I mean, it's thousands of things that got to be thought about when you're moving.
By the way, true story. I had in my golf bag, which was in my garage.
Okay.
Right. Didn't think about it. Was pulling out my golf bag. There was a mouse in my golf bag.
Oh, wow. And he didn't want to go play golf.
He did not want to play golf that day.
So he ran out the bag.
Right. But it's, I'm not thinking about that. I'm not thinking that there's a mouse in my golf bag.
Most people don't.
I mean, it's in a closet in my garage.
Right.
Right. I'm not thinking that a mouse can get into that closet in my garage.
And
guess what happened? He got into that closet.
I believe you. And
into my golf bag.
Yeah, I believe you.
And so it's not like it can't happen. I mean, these
it happens. I mean, I've been in business 22 years and I've seen it all.
Yeah.
I mean, you name it, I've seen it.
Yeah. Well, and if you're moving, you helped us make a move from being out in the county to in town. And so, There's a lot more critters out in the county.
It is. I mean, once you cross outside of the city line, I mean,
there's more critters.
More critters.
There just is. And they like to get out. So what are some other tips that you may have to help people make a smoother move that we may not have talked about, that you would help you as a mover just make things easier for you?
I appreciate that question. A couple of things that people hardly think about when the mover is arriving. Animals get really stressed when there's a lot of moving parts going on.
Right.
So if you could, maybe take your dog, cat, squirrel, whatever, whatever you got in the house, take them to
that squirrel. That's so good.
Take them to like a sitter or vet or somebody that day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just so that the animal is not stressed, because once you start shifting furniture around and moving things, it stresses animals.
Yeah. Yeah.
So secure your animal, get them in a nice, comfortable, relaxed atmosphere. Right. Another thing people don't think about, when the movers show up, have your driveway cleared out. The mover needs somewhere to park that truck.
Right. That's right. It's a big vehicle.
If he show up and you got 8 cars in the driveway, he can't get into the driveway. So, clear out your driveway.
And I guess that going with that is making sure there's enough clearance on the street, because sometimes people will park all their vehicles and make the on the street, and it's a big vehicle.
Yeah, it's
and you got to make back up into it, and those vehicles are so close to the driveway. It's okay to walk a little bit here, and so move your vehicles a little further away so they got plenty of clearance to turn.
And I would say a third thing would be, make sure, like if you have steps on your home, make sure those steps is nice and secure, so that when the mover is stepping on your steps, he don't go flying off. There's people that have loose bricks on steps, loose boards. Get that stuff all nice and secure so that the mover have a safe working environment. And it's tons of other things, but those 3 things that are 3 of the things that people really never thinks about.
Right.
When
I mean,
the mover
right. The animal thing, I think, is really, really critical here, because you're right, with all the moving parts, which is unusual for any animal in the house. If you put them in a crate, you're still got a lot of moving parts, and they're still stressed. They really do need to be somewhere else, so that they're not feeling that stress. Because you're right, they do get stressed.
Yeah, they get stressed. I mean, I went to look at a job yesterday, might have effect, and the guy had 6 cats in his house, and they all were just loose.
Yeah.
And when I walked in the door, he said, "Hey, shut my door real fast." I said, "Why?" He said, "All my cats is going to get out." And I looked at him. I said, "Can you put them in a room?" He said, "No, I can't catch them all."
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So I'm like, "Man, didn't you know I was coming to look at this job?" He said, well, I didn't ask him that, but I said that to myself. So my first thought was,
how are you going to move if you got to shut the door right away?
Well, this particular thing, I was just giving an estimate, but even with that,
I mean, because you're thinking about the logistics of that.
Yeah, but I would, but what I did before I left, I reminded him. I said, on moving day, secure these cats, because if you don't, I mean, what we supposed to do?
Right.
You walking in the house and you got 6 cats just roaming around. I mean, what do the mover supposed to do?
Right.
And for the safety of the mover, he don't want a cat under his feet when he got a dresser in his hand.
That don't go well.
That's not going to be pretty.
No, not at all. That's not going to be pretty at all. What about, I'm going to talk about specialty items and what your recommendation is. Like, I have a grand piano.
Okay.
That
a nice one, by the way.
A very nice grand piano.
It's pretty.
And I think do you recommend, like, for something like that, do you guys handle that, or do you recommend a piano mover? What is your recommendation when you deal with something like that?
Well, I have a couple baby grand and regular grand pianos partners in the area.
Okay.
And that's all they do. They just move pianos.
Yeah.
Because I'm one of these people that believe I don't do no kind of work that I don't specialize in.
Okay. Stay in your lane.
Stay in my lane.
Yeah.
And these guys, they come in, they take your piano apart, they pad it, they wrap it.
Right.
They take it to the climate control warehouse if you need storage.
Right.
Or they'll move it directly to your new home.
Right.
But pianos need special care.
Right. They do.
Yeah. And everyone can't move a piano.
No, because I think what we did when you guys were moving our house and I had to move that piano, I think we had a piano mover come in and specifically move the piano. And they do special things with that piano.
Yeah.
Because they don't take it down steps. They actually have a ramp.
Yeah, they have a ramp and a special dolly
that they do. I think this one had 2 dollies.
Yeah.
Because it was it's a 6'2" grand, baby grand. And they even pad the soundboard inside so that nothing moves inside. And then they wrap it and then they close it down so that lid doesn't fly up.
Yeah.
It's a very specialized thing. So, but you have people that you recommend if you've got items like that.
Being in the moving industry for over 20 some years, I have made connections with different people that specialize in different things that I don't specialize in. Like I don't transport vehicles.
Right.
But I got a
person who does that.
That person that do that. And so moving got a lot of moving parts to it.
Right.
And it's just not like the mover show up and he just start picking up your
stuff
and go out the house. Right. I mean, it's so much prep work you had to do before moving day get there. And I'm just one phone call away. If anybody have any questions out there, I'll be more than happy to answer questions or help you plan for your move as best as I can.
And we're going to give you the opportunity, but I do have one more question that popped in my head. Electronics.
Okay.
Some people have very elaborate stereo home theater systems and things like that. What's some of the considerations that you want people to think about when they're moving, like some of these high-end components that could be extraordinarily expensive? I have a friend who has a turntable. I think that's like around $2,000 just for the turntable.
I moved a $10,000 speaker a couple of days ago.
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
So
one speaker.
One speaker. 10. Yeah. I mean, I know because some of these home theaters are very, very expensive. So what's some of the considerations there?
My recommendation on something like that would be just let us handle it from start to finish. Because it got to be bubble wrapped properly. It got to be padded properly. It got to be boxed properly. So if you're not familiar with that kind of stuff, just leave it to the mover, because if you try to pack it, by the time you get to the other end, it's a possibility that your $10,000 speaker.
So don't try to do it yourself.
Don't try to do it yourself.
Let us do that for you.
I mean, if you're an IT person and you're familiar with stuff like that, I mean, knock yourself out. But if you're not familiar with it, just, if you're paying the mover, let the mover come in and
handle that
part for you.
Right.
Because it do require special handling when you're dealing with electronics and speakers and even some TVs.
Yeah, right.
I have showed up at people's homes before they got the TV standing up sideways. And a lot of people don't realize you got to keep a flat screen TV upright.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want it laying on its back.
You don't want it. You got to keep it upright.
You don't want it on its wrong side.
Correct.
You want it
correct.
Right.
When you go to plug it in and it not showing anything, you're gonna be like, something went wrong.
It's because you didn't treat it right. Correct. So let your people handle wrapping that, taking care of that,
boxing it up.
Boxing up. Don't take it off the wall. Let you guys do that.
Yeah, we'll take it off the wall. The only thing we don't do is drill into the wall. So when you get to your new home, most movers don't install things.
Right.
But once again, we can get you a TV installer. We know TV installers. We know piano movers. Things we don't specialize in, we can connect you to that person.
You have that available.
Correct.
Okay. What does it cost to have you come in and do a oh boy, I just dropped the word.
Assessment.
An assessment, or pricing out an estimate. That's the word I was looking for. What does it cost for somebody if they want to bring you and get an estimate of a move? How much does it cost them to get an estimate?
Believe it or not, $0.
So it's free.
It's free.
So you can come in and give them an estimate, let you go through the house, and the estimate is free.
It's free. It won't cost you a dime.
Wow.
It won't cost you nothing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Now it got to be reasonable. I'm not going to drive 400 miles.
Right. You're not going to drive 400 miles to do it. This has been a lot of fun, Tony. I've really enjoyed this. This has been it's gone really fast, but this has been great.
Well, I can't thank you enough for having me here. And like I said, I think something like this is very important because
Yeah.
most people don't know.
No, they don't.
You know,
So this is the opportunity, Tony, that you get now to tell the world how do they get a hold of you if they want to get an estimate, a free estimate, or if they got questions about moving. How do they get a hold of you?
I can be reached anytime by phone at area code 919-426-5878. Or either you could go to my website at www.miscellaneousplus.com.
Okay.
And you will have a link there to email me if you have any
Okay.
questions. Or if you want to call me and just say, hey, Tony, I got a question. And if I can answer it, I will answer your question.
Okay. So there's a rule in radio and TV that you got to say your phone number more than one time. So give people that phone number again.
That number is 919-426-5878. And that website again is www.miscellaneousplus.com.
Miscellaneousplus.com. Perfect. Tony, thank you so much. Stay with me, folks. This is a show. You had a lot of choices. You chose us. Thank you for doing that. We were really grateful for you doing that. If you're watching us on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. If wherever you're listening to the show via podcast, why not give us a 5-star review and give us a positive review? We're also open to hearing any suggestions that you have, a guest that you'd like to see on the show. We would certainly love that. So thank you so much. As I say to you all over the world, you know what that is. Ciao, everybody.